The branding is very important because if you think of any major organization that has a book attached to it, let's go Grisham. You know exactly, as soon as you say Grisham, what you're going to get. If you say King, you know exactly what you're going to get. If you say Agatha Christie, you know exactly what you're going to get. If you say, resiliency, who's the model for resiliency? So you go back and you have to say, what am I going to be known for? For me, I started out with a fiction novel, and they're going to say, well, what does that have to do with training and development? Well, in my fiction novel, it's a crime novel based out of Indianapolis. I'm from Indianapolis. There's my first target market. Okay. All the sites are real. This is my 30-second speech that I would do as I meet people at a function or a book signing that maybe have never heard of me. All the sites are real. The sites that you'll see are Circle, City County Building, the Mayor's Office, Holiday Park, and the dead bodies found up behind Lafayette Square Mall on the railroad tracks on 38th and Guyan. Boom. I've expanded who might be interested that's been in Indiana or lives in Indiana. And then also people that have no idea I would like to know more about why the circle was made. Blah, 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 blah. You've created a market there again. Now, it's a crime novel. It's similar to an Agatha Christie Clue type book. It's not like a King that goes into fantasy. So you see how I'm doing this story of how people might look at the book. And then they'll say, well, what does that have to do with your background in training and development? Well, then I go, wait, because every single one of the characters are out of life balance. So you have one that's a workaholic. You have one that's dedicated to law and order and eating out of cardboard boxes and wondering why he's not having life fulfillment. You have one that's dedicated to his friends and ended up, a co-defendant for a murder because he's not loyal to himself. You can go through this and then guess what? Boom. Book 2, A Journey to Life Balance by Rhonda Parker Taylor. It's a workbook approach to what I do my consulting to, which is helping people create that story of self-success. So my brand is not only using entertainment to help people reflect on their lives and their decisions, but it's also to then carry it on to case studies where you can go back then and say, okay, I'm out of balance. I related to Paris all the way. I'm a workaholic. I'm not having joy in my life, or I'm way into into law and order, and this is hurting my relationships, or whatever the character is and you can work through the 13 dimensions of your life and create peace, joy, and happiness.
I gotta say, that's fascinating. I don't know that I've ever heard of that methodology of marketing before.